How's it going, YouTube? This is part of my Cosmo Blazer discussion, but also a discussion on a deck that might possibly be a thing after this weekend. I played a couple of it on Yugi Pro. For those of you that don't know, I've kind of transitioned to that um, as opposed to Dueling Network, mainly because Dueling Network is not correct 90% of the time, and I got over people being jerks and people saying that they're right and you having to manifest all your own rulings and all that bullcrap. So I switched over to Yugi Pro. Now, one of the first decks that I encountered when I went into Yugi Pro, because Yugi Pro does incorporate a lot of cards that we don't have, but it has proper rulings. So, like, I'm just going to be a little spokesman for Yugi Pro right now. Good job, Yugi Pro. I like you as opposed to DN because you actually are. It's like playing Tag Force, but it's unforgiving as crap. If you screw up, it's on you, but it's Yugi Pro, not Yugi Noobs. So anyway, moving on. The deck that's going to be a problem, in my opinion. I don't like this deck because it causes me to misplay so severely. Because in your opinion, you're like, that card can't have any type of good effect. And no, it's not Utopia like what we have here. Utopia number 39 has become a staple extra deck card. Pretty much the card that everybody says, I'm putting this in my extra deck just because I can always summon it. You know, you can mind control, grab a monster, exceed to make him. You know, 2500 body, rank 4, excellent monster overall. Except that whole, when he has no material, he blows himself up. So if he's declared as an attack target, now that can cause replay battles, and then you just take chump damage. But they made an answer for that in number C39, Utopia Ray, that pretty much said you take your pretty much a useless dead Utopia and make him into not going to die when I'm attacked Utopia. And he has a cool little effect that says I could win if I'm about to lose, and he's totally a protagonist of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime card. One of those with such a gratuitously, ridiculously long effect clause that you would say, I'm only going to do this and it's going to be hysterical when I do it. Right? Well, then they decided to make him have a couple of other support cards. And the set that he came out of, Order of Chaos, Utopia Ray, was kind of one of those, like, he's a ghost rare. I'll put him in because I'll mind control my opponent's Utopia and just overlay with it and make this guy, which is a hilarious move. But no, it's not just the only reason. They decided to make Zexal weapons, or ZW. So if you didn't know what ZW meant until now, ZW Unicorn Spear. That's what it means. Zexal weapon, Unicorn Spear. In the anime, they're the miracle, holy crap draw that Yuma pulls out of his butt in order to win every single duel where he would have lost. And they're cards that he didn't have until this moment. And it's just like, pardon me there, just like when Yusei decided, I'm just going to draw this, majestic dragon tuner that makes majestic Stardust Dragon, and I'm going to win the duel. The card doesn't make no sense. It's not a card that you would logically put in. But he is a 1900 zero. So, I mean, 1900, impressive. Zero, not so much. He's a light beast, and he says that you can target a number C39 Utopia Ray only, and you control, and equip this card from your hand to that target. It gains 1900 attack, and if it battles an opponent's monster, the opponent's monster's effect is negated during the battle phase only. You can only control one face-up Unicorn Spear. So, if you're equipping this to number C39, you're looking at 4,400 attack points out the gate. That's pretty impressive. 4,400, really cool. Makes your big play into a bigger play. But pretty much this is like, I don't know, kind of like when Power Rangers decided to start adding all these new Megazords that just made the Megazord even bigger and bigger and bigger and badder, which is cool. I guess that's a nice little thing to do. But the Zexal weapon archetype never really saw any play ever. Then they made this abomination called Phoenix Bow. Now, granted, it holds the only spot in the entire game with 1100 listed in its effect text, but it's not impressive. It's a 1100 monster. It says you can target C number 39 Utopia Ray again and equip it from the hand to the target, and it gains 1100 attack. Not near as good as the 1900, obviously. And when it destroys an opponent's monster in battle, you inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent, and you can only control one. These cards were kind of like, am I really going to go through all of that? Am I really going to put cards in my deck that are totally situational and totally reliant on me controlling a monster that requires me to exceed and then lay on top of the exceed, so over exceed? Maybe? No. Never going to be a deck. It's never going to be a real thing. Well, welcome to Cosmo Blazer, where this is not just a silly idea anymore. We have 3 new Zexal weapons that we'll be receiving in Cosmo Blazer. And if you aren't familiar with Chinese mythology, actually between the phoenix, the tiger, the turtle, and the dragon here, we have all of the directional like protectors. It's also the phoenix is the only one out of Naturia beasts that has not been represented because like you have the phoenix, the tiger, the turtle, and the dragon that protect north, south, east, and west in Chinese mythology. So we have beast and Landoys and Barkion here essentially remade into Zexal weapons. But these are all beside the point. It's not important for that. It's just a fun little tidbit of trivia. But anyway, so we have Zexal weapon Lightning Blade. Now he's a tiger, and he's got 1200 attack and 2000 defense, and he's a level 5, which means he's unplayable, right? Wrong. He's able to be equipped to either to any Utopia monster from your hand, which is really cool. But it also has a protection clause, which these two lacked, which was that if Utopia or the monster equipped with it would be destroyed, you destroy it instead. So automatically, Utopia just got way more premise and power. And it gains 1200 attack points. So you equip one of these to Utopia, and his attack points jump up to 3700. And you have this guy equipped, and it also says Zexal weapon monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So they can't MST them away. You can't MST him away. And that's just a cool little, protection clause. I mean, it automatically equips to the monster from your hand. It's a level 5, and then it has the added bonus of being able to give him attack points and protect all the other ones and protect Utopia himself from destruction. So those are all big positives. Then you have Ultimate Shield. Ultimate Shield is totally the only one I've never seen hit the table on that game online. Okay, so like Ultimate Shield just says 2k defense. When he's normal or special summoned, you get to special summon an Xyz monster from your banished pile and just special summon it. So like I guess it's theoretical that you could play this, bring back Utopia, and then you'll have Utopia to be able to go off. But I don't see it as an essential piece of this puzzle. But it is a nice little 2000 defense wall, and you can special summon it or normal summon it and get its effect. So 2 big positives. But if there was a way to equip Zexal weapons from the field to Utopia, it'd be a whole different ballpark. But you can't. But if he's equipped to Utopia, it gains 2000 defense, and when Utopia would be destroyed, it's destroyed instead. Then you have Zexal weapon Tornado Bringer, which I think brings the whole puzzle together, because Tornado Bringer gives Utopia monsters equipped with it 1300 more attack points. So note, you still don't have to go for Chaos number 39. You can still go for this Utopia and still equip this card or this card or this card to those cards. So that already fixes the archetype a whole bunch. But the last little effect is that while it's on the field, it basically gives Utopia 1300 more attack points, and the monster equipped with it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So you have a little, I guess you could call it, White Dragon Ninja lock. Like if you've ever played White Dragon Ninja with Safe Zone, you know what I'm talking about. It's an annoying piece of crap thing to get around, because White Dragon Ninja basically makes your Safe Zone invincible. Safe Zone makes your White Dragon Ninja invincible. They can't be targeted. The only thing that could possibly ever happen in that situation would be like your opponent Caius' away Safe Zone, and then your opponent is sitting on a monster with still more attack points than Caius. So either way, Tornado Bringer and Lightning Blade equipped at the same time to Utopia makes him a 5000 attacker that cannot be destroyed by card effects and has 5000 attack points, and they can't be blown up, and it's just nutty. So all of this, all added and factored in together, makes this archetype a little more viable, in my opinion. I don't say that Zexal weapons are going to take any type of major event, but I do say it's one of those decks, one of those rogue decks, that if somebody drops on you, you won't really have an answer for a 5000 attack Utopia that's undestroyable. It's pretty impressive. They did also give them an Exceed monster. It's an Exceed Zexal weapon. He's an ultra rare out of the set, so be careful if you pull this guy. But he's a 3K, rank 5, and it's 2 level 5s just to make him. It says you can equip him from the field to a Utopia monster you control. It gains 3,000 attack points. You can basically, if the monster that attacked, like the Utopia attacked, you can send it to the graveyard, and in exchange, your Utopia can attack a second time, which is cool. And his other effect is that if he's on the field, you can detach a material and search your deck for a Zexal weapon and add it to your hand. So it kind of brings the whole archetype together, but the fact that he can't attack directly is like a big problem bit for me. And this guy kind of reminds me of like the White Tiger Megazord from back in the day when, Power Rangers had White Tiger and Dragon and all those other things. So I really like this archetype. I don't think it's going to be, crazy amazing, but I do think that it's going to be one of those rogue decks. Somebody plays it against you, and you're just like, how do I answer this problem? I mean, the only way I ever got over this whole combo was I attacked it with a Gaia, with a Dark Gaia that I had pumped to 6,400 attack points. And I killed Utopia, but Utopia stayed, and actually he negated the attack, and then he couldn't fight over me, so he just kept it in attack mode and did that 3 times. Eventually he kept his Utopia anyway because he overlaid for 39 or something like that. It was just crazy. So anyway, deck's interesting. What do you guys think of it? As always, comment, rate, subscribe, and have a nice day.